Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the grand finals of the Singapore StarCraft League November. This is going to be an explosive match because at the 2 o'clock position as the blue Terran we have aLtOxygeN, and in the 10 o'clock position we have inFiRevenant. These guys have battled through a ton of very good players, and they finally made it here to the grand finals. This is a best of 5, not a best of 3, and the first map is going to be Delta Quadrant. Now Delta Quadrant, as I said many times before in previous casts, is a very Terran favorite map. And this close spawn position actually is really detrimental to Revenant because they're only really separated. Here's your natural, this is tiny little passageway, and then right here is your opponent's natural. And once this Overlord over here is going to make his way to aLtOxygeN's base, if Revenant is not too careful of it, this early SCV is going to see it right about here, and he's going to know, okay, there's no way Overlord could have moved that fast across the map unless Revenant is over here by the 10 o'clock. And once aLtOxygeN knows that he's going to be there, you can bet that he's going to put out a lot of early pressure, because Revenant's playstyle is he likes to macro up a lot. Like this is a very greedy Zerg, and all good Zergs are really greedy on economy. If they can get away with it, they're going to build a lot of drones, and with the economic advantage make this huge push at roughly the 10 to 12 minute mark and crush your opponent. The thing is if you're going to be greedy and making nothing but drones in the early game, then you have to be excellent at your scouting. You have to use your Overlords really well. You have to use your Zerglings really well. And Revenant really excels at that. But the thing is he's fighting aLtOxygeN. aLtOxygeN is most likely the most aggressive Terran player I've ever seen. The moment he makes like 2 Marines, he pushes out with like 2 SCVs to help. And the SCVs are not there to make bunkers, they're just there for pressure. And then he'll push out with 5 Marines and 2 SCVs like a minute later, or Hellion push into Banshee push. This guy is always in your face. And the thing as a Zerg is you only have lava. You don't have factories, you don't have barracks, you don't have starports. You only have lava to make either a worker or a unit. And if you are getting a lot of pressure in your face, you're forced to make units and not lava and not drones. And if you're not making drones, then your economy is going to suffer. And a 1 base Terran against a 1 base Zerg, or even a 2 base Terran against a 2 base Zerg, if you don't get enough economy, then you're going to be severely behind once the main battle clashes. But Revenant is going to be a little bit cheeky here with his drone. I'm not sure he's going to be able to get the SCV, and wow, he's actually able to get the SCV, and then as soon as the Marine comes over to pick him off, he does become an extractor, and aLtOxygeN has not to be happy with that, because it's 2-4. 1, he lost the SCV, and the thing is with aLtOxygeN, a lot of his early builds requires early gas, because yeah, there we go, a very standard aLtOxygeN build. A reactor into a factory, and he really favors that. But the thing is with those kind of builds is you really need double gas really quickly, and he hates having anyone take his gas. Like you should see when he's playing custom maps with some of the other players. It's so funny. Like I mean, this is a really nice guy, but he just rages. Well, not really rages. He's like, oh my god, why you take my gas again? And then you like he keeps making a big fuss out of it. So actually, that's a really good play there by Revenant to throw him off his game. There we go. We are going to get the swap. The Zerglings are going to see if they can run by. They're actually able to very quickly run by, and not really going to do very much. Pick off 1 Marine, and it's going to make the Zerglings worth that. The SCV is going to. Oh no! I thought he was going to actually clean up this Zergling, and these Zerglings are being a complete beast. Actually, Revenant's not even. I think Revenant completely forgot about this Zergling, and yeah, this SCV is going to come over and punch it in the face, and I think Revenant is just content to macro up, but actually, interestingly enough, he's gone for early lair and speed, and he has not made any move to get an expansion. So we are already at 26 food. And I think the reason why Revenant is doing this, getting this early speed, getting not an expansion, is because he knows the aggressive style of aLtOxygeN. So he's really there we go. These Zerglings are going to be very easy to take care of. These 2 Hellions. We're having. Let me pulling up the production tab. We have only the lair and Overlord, and actually aLtOxygeN was macroing in his base. This is one of the big problems when you go back and forth between your units. Is if you don't cycle back fast enough, you can actually get your Hellions surrounded, and there we go. Every single early pressure is negated by aLtOxygeN because negated by Revenant because of his early speedlings. It's a very interesting play. He got his early layer, he got his early speed, and no hatchery. So this is actually very risky, very unorthodox play. It's very rare to see Zergs actually go for 1 base play, especially against a Terran. So here we go. aLtOxygeN is going to answer with 3 more Hellions of his own. These speedlings are not going to be able to do very much. The speedlings are in the line. They're getting completely roasted. aLtOxygeN is very good with the micro on his Hellions. He has done it to Glade. He's done it to a lot of other people, not even losing a single. Oh, never mind. The micro of Revenant just a little bit better. He's just able to pick off that 1 Hellion. But the thing is look at that. Revenant is forced to make 12 more Zerglings. And remember, every single Zergling you make is not workers you're going to have. Looking on the income tab, we are 25 against 22, and that is not the position that you want to be. Yes, those Helens didn't do any more significant damage. Again, I think Oxygen was macroing his base, and he left his Helens over there. That's why they got surrounded. But the thing is Revenant is not allowed to macro. This really hurts him, and if he's not allowed to macro, and actually, oh my God! Actually, he dropped the supply depot. He wanted Oxygen wanted to raise his supply depot, but he actually dropped the second one. He's going to lose a lot of units. He might actually even lose the tank. Actually, the Zerglings are not even going for the tank. They are going for the Marines, and I'm not so sure if that was worth it. Revenant did kill 5 Marines, but he did lose 12 Zerglings. But the thing is killing 5 Marines is going to be really important because of this spy. Oh, actually, Oxygen very wisely does scan. Looking at Oxygen's cam, does he see that? He does see the spire. Oxygen does see the spire, so he is going to know that he's going to be prepared for mutas. But the thing is can Revenant support mutas? He only has been on second to gas. We are 8 minutes into the game, so Revenant has only banked 100 gas in, and he's not going to be able to get a lot of gas because he's only on third gas. And oh, actually, forget about that. He used up all his gas because he's already made 6 Mutalisks, and they are coming across the field. The thing is Oxygen did scout he did scout the spire, and he's only just dropped the engineering bay, and it's going to be a little bit too late. Looking at the units tab, he does have 10 Marines. The 10 Marines are completely out of position. They're actually right across the field. They're actually in Revenant's base, and these Mutalisks are completely cleaning up all these SCVs. The SCVs are fleeing for their lives, and we might actually see an all-in by Oxygen because right now we do have bunkers, and Oxygen very wisely is not going to waste time on the hatchery. He knows he has to make the kill right now, and these Mutalisks are still in Revenant's base. I don't know what they need. They're doing. They need to be supporting their units. The SCVs. Once the SCVs come and meet up with their Marines, they're going to form a great meat shield. And actually, if Oxygen is going to be able to snipe out all these units, Oxygen is not even sieging his tanks, which is very wise because the thing is there are very few units. Siege tanks do much better if they are unsieged against a few units, but actually the drones are being pulled off the line, and oh wow, this is a huge battle. I'm running completely out of breath, and actually the Mutalisks have actually taken out all the Marines, and all the Marines fall, so there's nothing else that can hit the air, and it seems that Revenant has won the day. Pulling up the Harvester tab, we have 5 Harvesters against 6, so this game has gone completely back to the Stone Age. We are back at 1 minute mark, and we have 1 lonely mule here for Oxygen and just 4 drones. But looking at the production tab, we do have 1 more drone. We have a couple of Marines by Oxygen, but there's only 3 Marines to 6 mutas. Once these mutas go down, and Oxygen is forced to tap out. Oh, I am completely out of breath. That was an intense 2 minutes of play. Like right here is brilliant work. I think Revenant keeping his Mutalisks over here and pulling them back at the last minute. I would have actually really liked to see Oxygen, I guess, just siege up his tanks over here and then form a line of Marines and tanks and then force the Zerg to come into you. But that still was a really good play. The thing is I was talking about siege tanks, whether or not you should siege them or not. When it's just a few Zerglings and things, the Zerglings are going to get into melee range of your Marines, and if you splash the Zerglings, you're going to splash your Marines too. And a siege tank does 50 damage splash over 3 seconds, versus if it's unsieged, it does 25 damage every 1 second. So 75 damage versus 50, but 50 is splash. So if you're fighting small clumps of units, like small clumps of Zerglings, actually it's better if you just keep it unsieged and just shoot really fast and take out the small units. Of course, if there's a large group of roaches, you want to splash them, then it's fine. But that was actually pretty good decision making on both parts. Actually, he was really close down to the wire. I would say if Oxygen was not as aggressive as he was, because he's such an aggressive player, once he had 10 Marines, 2 or 3 tanks he pushed, if his 10 Marines were here, they would have easily dispatched of the mutas. He could have thrown down a few missile turrets and then made the push. So Revenant got a little lucky there with the timing window. All his forces was out here attacking his natural when the mutas flew into his base, and he had no cover at all. And Revenant was able to take care of that. He forced Oxygen to go all in, and what a brilliant defense by Revenant. Microing all his drones and killing out. Basically, he went just for the Marines. He asked all the drones and the Zerglings to go for the Marines. Once the Marines were done, the mutas just cleaned up. But with that as the appetizer, I can't wait for this grand finals. I'm going to cast game 2 right now. This is HD Phoenix signing out.